With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Owning a boat comes with a number of perks, like being able to fling your favorite fishing rod around. And here's another perk. Geico's boat insurance covers your boat and your belongings. And with specialist support from agents that are as passionate about boating as you are, there's so much value that you'll want to high-five someone. But not while you're holding your fishing rod. That's a prized possession. So hold on tight with both hands and keep it covered through boat insurance. Get more with Geico.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Monday, March the 3rd, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we're going to bring y'all some true crime today.
Yes.
True crime time.
True crime time
for Monday. Lundy Gras, if you're in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
And I hope y'all are enjoying yourself, and it's supposed to be great weather, and all the parades in New Orleans, and everybody's being safe and having a good time.
Yes.
Love, love, love the Mardi Gras. So, what's happening? We're recording remotely, y'all, and so we're not in the home studio, if you will. We're in the country.
But we're not even in the country studio.
I know.
We're free balling.
Free balling from the living room. So, if you hear a little difference in whatever, then that's what it is. Sin, ladies first, lay it on us.
All right. Well, I'm going to take you to South Carolina first.
South Carolina.
Yes. I think some of our audience knows that I was a teacher back in the day when we started the podcast. And one of the things that I experienced was students that came to school with bruises on them.
Yeah.
And I would have to report it as a mandated reporter. And of course, you would want to report it because you want to protect your students.
Right.
Well, a South Carolina educator faced the same type of thing in February of this year. Educators at a local school in Florence, South Carolina, observed visible swelling on the arms and legs of a young girl. When questioned, the child revealed that her mother, Angela Monique Brockingham, had struck her multiple times with a leather belt.
Nice.
So back in our day, we could be spanked, right?
Shit, I used to get the leather belt. My
Yeah.
daddy had one from Mexico, had doves carved into it. I used to have doves on my ass.
And how many whelps did you get on your body?
Plenty. And
Right.
I deserved every one of them though.
So I've only was spanked one time, and it was
That's
not
what's
my
wrong
fault.
with you.
Well, no, because I wasn't a bad girl.
Shit.
I
Who you
wasn't.
lying to? I know who you were.
Well, by the time, okay. When I became a bad girl, it was because of you. We're not going there today.
Okay.
So the little girl says up and, my mommy hit me with a leather belt. Well, she probably just said a belt. I don't know if she would know to say leather belt, but.
Right. Probably wasn't made of leather nowadays.
Right. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the school's teachers, counselors, and assistant principal promptly reported the incident to law enforcement. So once they reported this beating or spanking with the leather belt, investigators from the Florence County Sheriff's Office initiated an inquiry into the allegations.
Right.
And their findings led to the arrest of Angela Monique Brockingham on charges of unlawful conduct toward a child. Okay. But she was released on a personal recognizance bond. Does that mean she just says, I'm going to come back?
It's ROR, yeah.
Okay.
You're promising you're going to come back with a signature.
Right. And so basically this story is still under investigation. It brought to the community concerns about like spanking, and it's being highly debated over there because was the daughter spanked? And of course, this is a debate across the country all the time. You know, do you spank your child? What's going too far and things like that. So it's making the education system over there looking, you know, at that. As the legal process unfolds, the focus remains on the well-being of the child involved. And of course, the broader implication for child welfare practices in the community. So it's just one of those things that, being down here, we know that some parents, I had, you know, parents come to my classroom and say, if my child acts up, you have permission to, and of course you never can.
I've said the same thing.
Exactly. And of course,
my parents used to have a paddle made for me.
Yeah.
And give it to my teachers.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying, certainly I've worked cases where children were beat unnecessarily and stuff.
Right.
Like abuse. And also there were cases where little fuckers needed it, but they'll investigate and they'll do a good job, I suppose. Right.
Right.
Well, it's time for worldwide crime. Let's go across the pond down to the land of throw a few shrimps on the Barbie, right? We're going to Australia. Can you imagine finding one of your kids dead?
No.
Yeah, well, Toya Cordingley, who's 24, was found dead on Wangeti Beach in Australia on October 22nd, 2018. And she'd gone missing after she went for a walk with her dog the day before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's years later, and I'm going to tell you all about the trial and the guy got arrested and everything else. But her dad is speaking out in court about the devastating moment he discovered his daughter's body buried on a beach in Australia. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
No,
You're looking
I can't.
forward to trying to track my iPhone or whatever, and you find them buried.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday, February 26th, Troy Cordingley, whose daughter Toya was found dead on that beach I told you about. That's in far north Queensland, Australia. Anyway, so her dad, Troy, is finally getting his day in court, basically, in Queensland. This is per the Australian Associated Press. They said they believe that Toya was killed the day before her body was discovered after, like I told y'all, she went out for a walk with her dog. So this dude, Rajwinder Singh, who's 40 years old, they actually arrested him for her murder, and he's standing trial. Of course, he's pled not guilty. Now, the dad says he was looking all over his daughter the day after she disappeared, and he told the court that he was resting under trees, right? Taking a little break because he's wore out, when he saw an unusual mound in the sand. And he said, and I quote, "I dropped down on my knees and I scooped the sand 3 times. And on the third scoop, there was a foot."
Oh my goodness.
This is what he's telling the jury. He said, "I reeled back. I was horrified. I yelled out, 'Help me, help me.' I was shocked and stunned." And so naturally, they worked the crime scene and recovered her body and all that. They sent it to a forensic pathologist who is Dr. Paul Boderil. And he told the jury that Toya suffered an extraordinarily deep 17-centimeter neck wound. And she also had injuries to her abdomen, chest, and fingers. 17 centimeters deep, and he pretty much cut her head off. So the Crown prosecutor, Nathan Crane, suggested that the victim may have been buried alive, saying she was buried shortly before or after her death. She was left with her injuries with no hope of survival. Now, Crane also said Toya was alive when she sustained the injury to her neck. And I guess they could tell about how much blood she had in her body about that. Mm-hmm. And he suggests that tracking on the victim's phone indicated that she left or that the phone was taken away from the beach at 5 p.m., after she was buried.
Right.
And it said she was likely already dead at that time. Now, her phone tracking matched several places that a blue Alfa Romeo sedan was seen on CCTV. And including it was driving to the Lake Placid Holiday Apartments. And guess what? Mr. Rajwinder Singh owned a blue Alfa Romeo, just like was seen on CCTV.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a DNA from this dude. They said the DNA sample was 2,000 times more likely to be from the suspect than a random man's fingers, and that was found on Toya's fingernails, right? So they matched his ass. But what did Singh do? He ran like a little bitch. Yes, he ran like a little bitch. And he left Australia and he headed to New Delhi the day after she was found. And he was not seen again until November of 2022, when he was found deep in the heart of India, his native country. I guess he thought he was going to be safe. Can't outrun that warrant, motherfucker. So, according to Toya's boyfriend, Marco Heinrich, he was the first person to say, hey, she's missing, right? And raised alarm about it. He said she had reportedly sent him a text at 3:17 p.m. on the day she was killed, claiming she was picking up a friend named Tyson from the airport around 7 that evening. However, when Heinrich drove past the beach on his way home, her car was still parked there.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Heinrich has denied involvement in his girlfriend's death, despite admitting that his stepfather, a former Cairns police officer, was friendly with a detective working on the murder case. Well, I mean, the defense attorney's got to try to throw shade somewhere.
Exactly.
Right? You always start with the people that love you, right? Then the lawyer, Angus Edwards, who's defending Singh, they call them barristers over there, questioned Heinrich. He said, "Did you think there was anything unusual about your treatment by the police?" To which he replied, "No." And the lawyer insisted anybody at the beach that day could have killed Toya, and told the court, "As you go through the trial, ask yourself if Mr. Singh being the killer is the only possibility." And the trial still continues, y'all. It's going to take another 4 weeks.
How do they do that?
I don't know. But, 2,000 times more likely, of course, is 2 billion on the DNA. But they've got him on camera.
Literally.
Than anybody else, 2,000 times more likely, and whatever.
It's underneath her fingernails.
On camera. And so
I'm assuming they did the DNA of the boyfriend too. And
yeah, right. Yeah, they said it than anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. I wish I had 2,000 times odds in my favor on something, and I'm glad this asshole's got 2,000 times odds against him. And I hate that for that dad. I just
That's
can't
exactly
imagine.
what I was.
You're there looking at the beach because your daughter's car is there.
Yeah.
And that's, you're just looking and you're taking a break and you see a mound. That would fuck me up.
Totally. That's what, yeah. And you always say there's no such thing as coincidence and circumstance, but just taking a rest there by that mound, at least he found her body and at least they got some sort of justice, but. And
he scraped the sand back and found a foot. Crazy.
I got chills from that.
Crazy. Well, you bless us with another one. Can you guess how many times you've probably tried the latest diet craze? It's like I used to do Weight Watchers back in the day, counting the points. And the more you yo-yo diet, the more stubborn your fat gets. And then you're stuck like Chuck again. It's not about willpower. You've willed yourself through enough brutal diets and workouts. It's probably genetics. And doctors at Sono Bello can help determine if your body's problem areas are genetic. Wherever you have stubborn, diet-resistant fat and inches, Sono Bello's micro laser fat removal technology removes it for good in one comfortable visit. Those stubborn inches around your tummy are gone. Muffin tops, side fat, gone. Even saggy loose skin, gone. Permanently. All that's left are the beautiful natural curves you've been hoping to get. Warm weather is almost here. Now is the perfect time to visit Sono Bello and get your goal body in time for swimsuit season. Micro laser fat removal is the permanent solution, and Sono Bello doctors are the experts. Schedule your free consultation now and you'll get their best offer of the season. sonobello.com/RLRC. That's SONOBELLO.com/RLRC. This episode is sponsored by MIDI Health. Cyndi struggled to lose weight for years, despite her efforts with dieting and exercising. Time and again, she would express that something else must be causing her weight gain, and she was right. The issue was her hormones. That's where MIDI comes into play. MIDI is a virtual care clinic dedicated to truly seeing, hearing, and understanding women. Created by women for women, their mission is to provide you with personalized care that addresses your unique health needs. Once Cyndi received the help she needed, she was prescribed semaglutide and successfully lost 60 pounds. MIDI offers compounded semaglutide, which is a medication designed to assist with weight loss when combined with a healthy diet and exercise. Imagine achieving your goals without the stress of uncertainty. Plus, MIDI's clinicians will support you every step of the way. Scheduling is simple. Take a few minutes to set up your account, enter your insurance, and share your symptoms. You'll be paired with a qualified clinician trained in perimenopause, menopause, and weight management. And don't forget, as a special offer, you can go to trymidi.com/real. That's trymidi.com/real to schedule your virtual visit and join the more than 200,000 women who love and trust MIDI for their midlife care. Use my code SAVE15 to receive $15 off your first prescription product with your book visit. Transform your health journey with MIDI today. All right.
This is a crazy story to me. And I wondered if this ever happened to you. If you, let's say, when you were a detective, or did you ever do like deep undercover work?
I did.
So you're deep undercover, right? And you're out just in public, not really on the job, but when you're in law enforcement, you're really never off duty, right? Especially when you're a detective. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you're always out there. Well, there was some wildlife and fisheries undercover officers that were on a California flight. Like they were on an airplane and they hear this discussion going on in front of them.
Right.
And these people are just talking about what they have done, what they, you know, what they've had taxidermied, what they have in their presence. And while returning from a training session in San Diego, two plainclothes, California Department of Fish and Wildlife officers
Possum cops.
Would you what?
Possum cops.
Yes. But they were seated near 24-year-old Byron Lee Fitzpatrick and 28-year-old Shannon Lee Price on a flight to Northern California.
Okay.
The couple openly discussed transporting a sea turtle skull and the unlawful hunting of a mountain lion.
Nice.
They even mentioned a relative in Napa County who possessed taxidermied protected species, including mountain lions and a wolverine. Mm-hmm. And they even shared a video showcasing the trophy room to these
to the cops. Yeah.
So obviously recognizing the legal implications, the officers initiated an investigation upon landing. Search warrants were executed at the couple's residence in Chico and the relative's home in Napa County. And in Chico, officers discovered illegally possessed mountain lion claws.
Yeah, but they found all kinds of shit.
A taxidermied barn owl, several unlawfully taken deer, and the Napa County.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have anything that was fucking illegal.
Search revealed two taxidermied mountain lions and a wolverine, which is what they talked about on the plane. And of course, they're both protected species in California. The investigation conducted in partnership with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service led to formal charges against the two. Nice. And their relative, who was Harry Vern Fitzpatrick, and he's 64 years old. So they both, I mean, obviously there's no choice in my opinion of this. They just made plea agreements. I mean, and that was reached early this year. Byron Fitzpatrick and Shannon Price pleaded guilty to violating sections of the California Fish and Game Code. Byron was fined $1,865 and Shannon received a $1,015 fine.
That's nothing.
No. And then they were both placed on 1-year probation.
Yeah.
Prohibiting, like this is going to even matter, prohibiting them from hunting or associating because they
really give a fuck about your laws. Huh?
Or associating with individuals engaged in hunting. Mm-hmm. And then they were additionally fined $1,000 each for violating federal wildlife laws. Harry Fitzpatrick pleaded guilty to 2 charges of violating the state fish and game code, resulting in a $605 fine.
Yeah, they charge. Most people don't know that. If you get caught like with an illegal deer or a duck or whatever, fish, undersized fish, whatever it is, they charge you. The state of Louisiana will charge you the value of that animal. They're saying like you stole this from the other people of the state, you have to pay it back.
Yeah.
And you can't hunt fish and do whatever and all that.
And
so
he got 6-month probation as well.
Yeah, the deepest undercover I did while I was with Livingston was that case we had out of China where the Napa auto parts were counterfeits. And most people don't know it, but Louisiana has 5 times tougher criminal penalties for counterfeit than items that, just like you're talking about, they get fines in court. It's the same thing. Anyway, but we had this company from China that was making Napa Auto Parts. So Napa Auto Parts set up a fake warehouse, not a fake, I mean, they rented a warehouse. Yeah. And we would receive the shipments until finally get the head guy to come over. He wouldn't, I mean, he's a multi-millionaire Chinese guy, but it enticed him over with, we'll buy X amount of millions of dollars, but we want a face to face, and you come and meet us in Louisiana. Yeah. And all that. So,
that was a big day for you.
And I did it. Yeah, it was. And then it turned into a murder case.
That's what I'm saying. That was a big day for you because you had that meeting and then you had,
I had a case that we'll tell you about another day. Interesting. Very interesting. And, since then, you know, the undercover shit I've done a lot.
Oh, well, I meant as a,
since law enforcement, I have done a lot of undercover shit.
Yes. Yes.
All over the United States of America. And it was before Real Life, Real Crime and my TV appearances and all that, because I don't think I could get away with it.
You definitely couldn't now.
But I've been everywhere from Indian reservations to the nation's capital.
You have.
To South Florida, to you name it.
Vegas.
Virginia, Vegas, yes. I have been around doing some underhanded shit. All right. Well, you remember, I don't know if you remember Brianna Long. You probably don't, but she was murdered in 2023. And the 2 suspects who have been charged with murder, this is in Georgia. She was 21-year-old, beautiful girl, working her way through college, and she was finishing up her shift at a bar in Georgia. Shout out. I did the same thing going through college, and so did her son, working her way through the bar rooms. Anyway, she was getting ready to get off work, cleaning up and stuff, finishing her shift, when a shooting broke out. So Tyson Clayton, who was 23, and Keemone Green, who were 21, both of Lowndes County, Georgia, and they both got a charge of 1 count of malice, murder, and the death of Brianna, right? So at about 2:30 a.m. on October 29th, 2023, Long was, like I told you, finishing up her bartending shift at a place called The Pier in Remerton when she was hit by a stray bullet, which was fired from outside the bar.
Oh.
These motherfuckers don't know. It's video games. Hey, the bullet's going to stop somewhere and it's going to go through shit, right? Mm-hmm. So and this is all according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI. So another bar employee was the victim of an aggravated assault in the incident, but survived, meaning she caught a bullet, or they caught a bullet, but they lived. So Long was inside the bar after it closed when the shooting began, and the melee stemmed from an apparent altercation outside, this according to the GBI, and numerous people from inside the bar were outside at the time, and multiple vehicles were shot at. We used to do it back in the day, and the bars closed, we'd go outside and fist fight. Now they go outside and it's like the OK fucking corral, right?
Literally.
Shooting everybody. So after she got hit, she was transported to the hospital where naturally she later died. And both of these guys that now they caught up to them, they both were already in jail on unrelated charges. So they're frequent flyers and winners. But officials believe they were in Remington on the night of the killings because they were searching for someone involved in an ongoing gang dispute. And then this is in the charges. Now, our victim, Miss Long, was studying dental hygiene at Valdosta State University, and she's originally from Dallas, Texas. And she was also a former high school soccer star. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. At least they got him under arrest now, and it's just one of those sad things. People in the prime of their life gets cut down.
Yeah.
How many bar rooms did we shut down in a day? I mean, I can't think of anybody that got murdered.
And I can't, and I was never in a fight, and I'm not a guy by any way.
She was inside.
But no, what I'm saying is when you were, like you said, at the end of the night, y'all would go out and fight, if you have, but I can say you probably, or not even probably, 100% certainty you didn't think, I'm going to go grab my shotgun out of my, you know what I mean? I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to go get home and get a gun and come back.
Got my ass whipped plenty of times, and I gave a few ass whippings too. And it was just part of it. And we didn't beat anybody into comas or anything like that.
No.
It's just kids being kids.
Right.
But I worked homicide after, as a detective years later when two dudes got in a fight outside the bar and one hit the other one. He hit the ground. And his head hit the cement, and he was like, fuck it, I give up. And when he got in his truck to leave, and he fell asleep with brain bleeding, died. And that dude caught a murder charge.
Well, you're lucky that didn't happen to you.
You were right.
Because you got a subdermal hematoma.
That's true.
Caused
I
by
got a fractured skull and all that good stuff. That's a story for another day, too.
Yeah.
All right, well, take us somewhere.
I am going to take you to Florida.
Paradise City. Which part of Florida?
Naples. We're going to go to Naples, Florida.
Naples, Florida. Naples oranges.
But
you know what I used to like to do with the oranges? That we didn't get candy and shit when I was a kid.
You're right.
And I'm serious.
I know.
But when we got fruit, it was kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. But my mom would get this big ass Navel?
Navel.
Oh, okay. I got it wrong. But I'll call them Naples for whatever reason. You get those big oranges, you know what I do with them? I'd roll that motherfucker for like hours, play with it like a soccer ball and shit.
Make it juicy.
And then I'd cut a round hole in the top and
suck it.
Suck it out. Suck it. Get all the juice out. And then I would rip it open and I'd eat all the intestines out.
You've called navel oranges, Naple oranges?
Probably.
Oh my God.
It's not the first time I got
I'm
wrong.
lucky you actually say my name.
You're right.
What's my name?
I don't know. Pain.
You don't know pain.
Yeah, I do know pain.
Well, if I'm your pain, then you've had a really cush life if you're thinking that I'm your pain.
Oh, Lord, you're pain. Pain in the main vein. Now give us another story.
Well, we're going to Naples, Florida, and...
Naples or Naples?
Naple, N-A-P-L-E.
Naples, Florida. Let's go to Naples, Florida. What's happening in Naples?
Well, this is a shout out to my sister Tracy, okay?
All right.
You know, Tracy loves some island boys.
Yes, she does.
And one of the island boys has been arrested. And I'm going to tell you about that.
I can imagine what he did.
So in the evening of February 23rd, 2025, around 9 p.m., deputies in Collier County conducted a traffic stop in Naples, Florida.
In Naples.
The vehicle in question, a yellow Corvette, was pulled over near the intersection of Oil Well Road. I hope we have one of those soon. Oil Well Road 1, Overton,
nice.
Oil Well Road 2.
I hope this whole property is crisscrossed with oil wells. We'll do free live shows across the world.
Right.
We all know I love me some tacos. They're great every night of the week, not just Taco Tuesday. But Cyndi really wants me to eat healthier this year, and Factor chef-made gourmet meals have made eating well easy. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for my busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goal. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, Factor has it all figured out. My favorite meal has been the jalapeno sweet corn polenta and chicken. Imagine a whole chicken breast marinated in lemon juice, garlic, and smoked paprika, grilled until juicy and topped with a zesty salsa verde. It's served over a creamy Parmesan polenta loaded with diced jalapenos, corn, mozzarella, and scallions. Bell peppers, red onions, and cauliflower are served on the side with fajita spiced butter. It was delicious and nutritious. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? I know Cyndi was, and if you're a woman, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now, found in our food, water, and even in our skincare products. These disruptors can wreak havoc on our hormones. Believe me, before Hormone Harmony, I watched Cyndi suffer. Not anymore. Hormone Harmony's formula, made only with herbal ingredients, have reduced Cyndi's hormonal symptoms, and it helps women of all ages. Then there are the natural hormonal changes our bodies face, such as menopause. While these processes are part of life, they don't have to be uncomfortable. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through it any longer. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts known as adaptogens, designed to help the body cope with stressors, including those chaotic hormonal fluctuations that can disrupt your daily life. Whether it's PMS symptoms like irritability and cravings, or menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, Hormone Harmony can help with it all. Happy Mammoth, the creator of Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to improving women's lives by using only high-quality science-backed ingredients. They make no compromises on quality, ensuring that you receive the best support possible. This isn't just a supplement, it has become a phenomenon. Women are talking about it everywhere, with a bottle of Hormone Harmony sold every 24 seconds. And the most important benefit, women express feeling like themselves again. A sentiment echoed in over 30,000 positive reviews. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com. Don't forget to use the code RLRC for 15% off today.
So he was at the intersection of Oil Well Road and Immokalee Road after failure to come to a complete stop at a stop sign. Inside the car were 23-year-old Frankie Venegas, known by his stage name, which I can't even say, but Katie Yakid Red, which is the island boy, and the driver, who was 25-year-old Olivia Dubois.
Okay.
During the stop, deputies noted the vehicle's registration appeared expired. However, upon further inspection, it was confirmed to be valid, but a canine unit was deployed, leading to a search of the vehicle.
Well, the Free Air Act searched the outside of the vehicle, and unless they smelled weed or whatever, then they could put the dog in the vehicle.
So under the passenger seat where Venegas was seated, deputies discovered a clear plastic bag containing 7 oxycodone pills
There you go.
and 5 additional pills combining oxy with acetaminophen.
There you go.
And he denied ownership of the pills initially, claiming ignorance of the presence, and then later stating that he had a prescription, but of course was unable to provide proof.
That public service tip for the day: if you're a doper and a pill head or of whatever type pill, and you get pulled over by the cops and you don't have your prescription bottle and you have it in a clear plastic bag, your ass is going to jail.
Right. So further examination revealed a brown handbag on the passenger side floorboard. And guess what was in that?
A gun.
That's right. What kind of gun do you think it was?
Probably Ben Island, little sissy boy like he was, probably a revolver.
I don't know if this is a revolver, but a Glock.
I don't know. That's what I carry.
but it had been spray painted blue.
Oh my God.
And its serial numbers were removed.
Oh, that's a federal.
The bag also contained a clear plastic straw with white powder residue and credit cards bearing Venegas's name.
Yeah, and the credit cards we used for the cutting of the powder and the straw naturally that's why they call it booger sugar. It snorted it up.
Right. So he was, of course, arrested and booked into the Naples Jail Center in charges of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription.
Can you please tell the people, because nobody in the world besides our dear sister Tracy gives a fuck about the Island Boys. Who are they?
So they're TikTok stars and they sing these silly songs. And honestly, I've only seen TikToks like 3 times with Tracy, but
I remember Tracy, us on the way back from Route 61, and she's singing some Island Boy stuff or whatever.
Well, she was throwing down some raps.
Yeah.
That girl can rap.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But when we went to Hawaii with them, remember us in the jacuzzi and we were singing I'm an Island Girl?
Yeah. And y'all, this is a true story. We're in this multi-million-dollar home overlooking the ocean on the golf course, and we're all piled up in jacuzzi late at night. Now, this is a really, really,
multi-million dollar
it's probably a $10 million home. And we were raising hell, and one of the guys had gone to bed, and then we see this guy walking up. It's all dark and stuff, bushes and shit like that.
And he used to be
I'm not done.
Okay.
And the guy walks up, and he's like, security. And we thought it was the guy that went to bed. He used to be a correctional officer at San Quentin. And he's like, security. And we had the music playing. We were raising hell. And it's like, security. And we're like, shut up, Lenny, you fucking asshole. and it really was the police or security. And they were like, y'all, yeah, all these big ass homes around you, you need to go to bed. That was a great trip.
That was.
All that shit's burned down now.
Oh,
I hate that for them. I really, really do. All right, I'm gonna give you one more. Uno mas tiempo.
Okay.
Are you done?
No, I wasn't. That's okay.
That's enough Island Boys for today. They suck. I mean, if you spray paint a Glock blue, I mean, what does that say?
Well, I love you, Tracy. That was for you.
We acknowledged her numerous times. All right. So I'll tell you a really wonderful story. You know, people, I wish my high school would have had a swim team. You know that. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I would have been a competition swimmer, and with the dreams of making it to the Olympics, swim
Michael
like a fish,
Phelps
right?
×2.
My daddy, growing up, we always had a pool, and every time I got in the pool, and I still do this to WL, I used to do it to LA. Every time I got in the pool, he made me swim 10 laps, which is really 20 laps. Because one lap down and back was one, right? And he also used to punish me before school, and when he got tired of beating my ass, like your earlier story, and realized that didn't work anymore, and he started punishing me, he'd wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which was punishment, and make me lift weights and go run and swim laps before I went to school. Went to school all day and had to go to football practice after school, and then come home and lift and run again.
Yeah.
That's how.
But didn't you sometimes have practice something before school, athletic wise? Y'all didn't lift weights or anything like that prior? Okay.
Nope. And so anyway, I would aspire to be in the Olympics for real. And I'm going to tell you about this dude who was a former Olympic swimmer from 2012. And his name is Anthony James. And now he's 35 years old. And he's from Plymouth, England. Tell me, you let us know where that's at. And on Wednesday, February 26th, he got some news. Guess what he found out?
Is he sick? Somebody died.
No.
Okay.
He found out he's going to spend the next 21 years behind bars because he was found guilty of 2 rapes as well as other sex crimes. And this is according to the BBC. And now the games he participated in, like I told you, 2012 Olympic Games, and they were held in London. So prosecutors said James, who competed in the 100-meter butterfly in 2012, was training to become a what?
MMA fighter.
No, better than that.
What?
he was trained to become a police officer.
Oh, and so he's going to rape girls.
No. Listen.
Okay.
The Olympics are in the past.
Yeah.
Now he's trained to become a cop.
Right.
And he gets arrested for the rapes as well as other sex crimes. And so while he was trained to become a cop, all right. And just before his arrest in 2022, he groomed the girls before raping them. So Judge Robert Linford said in court, he said, you knew what you were doing was seriously wrong, but your desire for that young person overtook your self-control. She believed that you two were in a relationship. It seems that indeed what had been manufactured was a relationship, but then you betrayed that by raping her in her own home. That's what the judge had to say. So in October, Mr. James was convicted of 3 counts of rape, 3 of sexual activity with a child, and 2 counts of causing a child to engage in sexual activity, according to the BBC or Dear Friends. And guess what? He pled guilty to 6 counts of making indecent photographs of a child in April of 2024. Unrelated shit, right? Mm-hmm. But James raped one of the girls in her kitchen and the other in a car. One of the victims says, and I quote, I feel as if my formative teenage years have been stripped from me. And she was saying this during her victim impact statement. I always wonder what kind of girl I would have been if I hadn't met you. So the judge, he also handed down a 25-year sexual harm prevention order. I don't know. I guess that's like a restraining order here. And said James would be placed on the sex offenders registry for life. Good for him. During the sentencing, the senior Crown prosecutor, Gemma Kneebone, said James was well aware of how young these victims were, and he set out to take advantage of this in a truly appalling manner and continuing to fend against them even after they turned 16. So he got them young and kept going. But besides competing in the Olympics, James won a silver medal for his country in the Commonwealth Games in 2010. So there you have it. I don't know.
Wow.
He's
yeah, as he should be.
He was almost a cop with no gun. Yeah, they don't carry guns.
Right. Do they get to carry tasers or
I don't know.
The whatever you call those
the bobby
sticks?
stick
Yeah.
that came from way back when in London they carried the wooden clubs, but the cops were called bobbies.
I remember you telling me
and so
that.
that's why they were called bobby sticks. Of course, that's been improved upon many times over the years. In my time, it was the ASP, or it was PBR 24. Before that was the actual baton, and then they changed it to expandable baton and all that. But anyway, don't think that London doesn't have any guns, y'all. They have cops on specialized teams that do carry weapons, but like that, I ain't being a cop on the street without a gun.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No, I wouldn't let you.
No, you wouldn't. I would like to. So many times I wish I could go back. It was 30 years and put on that uniform and that badge and that gun and that radio and climb in that blue and white and just go chase calls.
I know there's been many times over the years you've said that.
911 calls. Then I realized I'm too fucking old.
I know. But just one more day, one more.
It'd be like one more football game, playing one more football game.
And knowing what you know now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Yeah. Well, I think that way with our kids. Like if I could just hold them more time.
Then, oh, well.
Like a little baby, like a little Ember, like, our little granddaughter.
Then I think, cameras everywhere. Bad idea.
Well, yeah, not for me holding a baby.
No, I'm talking about being a cop. We didn't have cameras and shit. Man, I got out of uniform patrol right when they put the first dash cameras in. So, y'all, we have a live show coming, and we have the date, and the contract has been signed, and the tickets will go on sale in approximately March 18th. And what we'll do is the night before the March 18th, we're going to give the venue. I can go ahead and give the date. The date of the live show is going to be July the 19th. And that is a fact. That's a signed sealed delivered deal. All we're waiting on is the entity to work on their ticketing system. So when we put everything online, you'll have all the information, different ticket price points, and it's going to be a hell of a venue and a hell of a great show.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm getting out of here.
Okay.
All right. See you later, Mama. And that's it for today. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
It's your true crime time for Monday. Peace.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Owning a boat comes with a number of perks, like being able to say, ahoy, or land ho, and not feel weird about it. So here's another perk. Geico's boat insurance offers access to the largest towing fleet on the water. And with specialist support from agents that are as passionate about boating as you are, there's so much value that you'll want to say, shiver me timbers, and not feel weird about that either. Get more with Geico.